and I dropped like a fucking rock.
I think it depends on where you use it.
Yeah. Although, does it ever explain why Sonic decides he wants to fall slowly now?
I don't know.
He
Maybe
thinks gravity is... He is the master of gravity.
he he sees red rings in the sky and wants to grab them.
Pretty much. You know what, though? My only regret with Rocket is that I wish there was a horizontal option.
Shine Spark Ho.
Yeah, you know what? Exactly. You know what? You know what? I really noticed it at during the end game credit sequence, which is really fucking long, by the way.
Yeah, it only goes straight up and you miss everything.
It only goes straight up and you miss everything. And he's like, you know what? This should have had an option so you can control which direction you can shoot it in.
I would have loved to have plowed through a long string of enemies going sideways with a fucking missile. It's like, I could boost to just destroy you all, but I don't want to shoot with a fucking rocket.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, fuck. You ever see the end of Toy Story? That shit was awesome.
It's not falling. It's not flying. It's falling with style.
Style.
After that is Spike.
Yeah, Spike. Spike.
Also known as you can walk on wall. It's a spider ball with a spin dash.
Spider ball with a spin dash. Even though Samus already kind of had that too with the boost ball too, but I question why give the Spike the spin dash when you could have just had that in Sonic's natural moveset. I mean, it does make climbing the walls a little more exhilarating because you really fucking fly with that spin dash.
I love climbing all over everything and seeing how far I can get.
Yeah, and I love that musical track too. It's like, yeah.
Although it gets annoying in that one section of a sweet mountain when you get like 5 in a row.
Yeah, with very slow moving platforms. The only thing you're paying attention to at that moment is the music. And it's like, wow, this isn't interesting anymore. Works better when the area is frantic.
Yeah. You can still use the homing attack with it, which I found odd.
Can you? Because I thought it was some kind of
you can still use the homing attack with it.
I thought it was just a normal air dash. I didn't know I was homing on to anything because I tried.
It only works on enemies.
Yeah.
It doesn't work on strings or anything, but it works on enemies.
I guess okay. I'm guessing that I was close to an enemy then because I did experiment with that. I was curious, and I did go horizontally far over a bottomless pit. By the way, which led to my death. I was curious on whether or not you could actually homing attack with that on, but I can. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Although I will say that one of my most hated segments with the fucking Spike power up was actually, again, this is Red Ring hunting and Starlight Carnival. One is surrounded by these fucking bomb blocks.
Oh, you mean the one at the bottom of the chasm where you have to jump onto the bomb blocks? And
yeah, and you have to
fuck that one.
Yeah, seriously, I hated that one. Seriously, lives were lost, aplenty.
Yes.
Trying to get to that fucking.
The best thing to do is go to the side, jump sideways onto it, spin dash around, and then jump off.
Yeah, you know what though? Just going a little too into a tangent in terms of the red ring discussion. I really fucking hate how if you die while collecting red rings, you have to get them again if you got them after a checkpoint.
Yeah, we'll get to the.
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll say that for when we get to the red rings.
Next, hover.
Hover.
Also known as light dash.
In terms of the Wisp power-ups. The Wisp power-up theme music, it's my favorite.
Yeah.
I definitely get a mix of classic Sonic and Metroid Prime. if you can combine those two for a second. But again, it's another thing because the Green Hover is essentially a Sonic's Lightspeed Dash, and Tails if you were in a 3D game.
Yeah. It works okay. It's a bit slow, and you don't get nearly enough of it.
It's a bit slow. I do wish you could speed up in any way. While you're hovering, I mean, it doesn't last very long either.
Leads to a lot of grating moments when you're trying to follow a trail of rings and you run out of it.
Yeah, you know what though? I'm convinced that these wisps in actuality are just testing grounds to what the fans actually like, because, I mean, why give the Spike the spin dash and have the Green Hover essentially act like a Tails knockoff that's not nearly as fast? I mean. I'm convinced if people really like these whips, they're gonna give Tails the the hover abilities. Minus the light speed dash, obviously.
Knuckles is drill.
They're gonna give Knuckles his drill, and they're gonna give Sonic back his spin dash for 2D sections. Hell, even 3D sections if they're balls enough. They're ballsy enough. Um, I'm just calling it right now. The next 3D Sonic game we get, we're gonna have
At least
Sonic
Tails back.
Yeah, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, and they're gonna have movesets that are incredibly similar to the Wisps.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised considering how well this game is going over with
Yeah.
everyone.
And you know what? Like, I wouldn't mind as long as you up the level design up a bit and keep it rather consistent to because the Wisps work well because their level designs merit it pretty much.
We haven't talked about Frenzy yet.
Oh,
Controls like ass a lot.
Controls like utter ass, and it's a bitch to jump with. Again, red ring hunting, Starlight Carnival. I think I know which one you're talking. I think you know exactly which one I'm talking about.
The one right above the goal ring.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck that
God
one.
Damn it! If there was a place you want to see how finicky the Frenzy's jump is, it's there. I finally figured out where exactly the Frenzy's hitbox is, so where you have to jump. It's at the base of his neck.
Huh.
Yeah, that's like as soon as that reaches the edge, jump. But yeah, in 2D, it's not so bad. It's fucking Pac-Man.
Except you can't control exactly where you're going.
Yeah, in 3D though,
it controls like ass.
It is horrendous. It is my least favorite Wisp. I will say that, especially in the 3D environment. But Jesus Christ, I mean, I know it's wild and rambunctious. Maybe that's the point. But God damn it, if it hinders my gameplay experience, I don't want to use it.
Well, thankfully they don't use it a whole lot.
No, it's really only used in Asteroid Coaster a whole lot,
and a couple spots every here and there, but
mostly
that's when a 2D section where you're just going in one direction.
Yeah, and even then it's completely optional because you're probably only using it to get red rings.
Yeah.
Let me see. I think that covers all the Wisps, is it?
Yep. Let's go on to zones.
Yay!
Tropical Resort.
Tropical Resort. You know what's funny? Like the first. Well, first off, I love the fact that at the title screen, the moment you choose new game, it jumps you right into the fucking game. Like there's no cut.
The intro cutscene isn't until after you beat Act 2.
Yeah.
I was so shocked. It's like press start, ready to watch a cutscene. Oh crap! It's Act 1. Go.
It's Act 1. Holy shit! I haven't seen this since Sonic 2. But it was actually funny. It was like at the first act of Tropical Resort, there's no boost, there's no Wisps whatsoever. I was like, wow, this is dull. But in terms of Tropical Resort, it's the beginner's level, so it's supposed to get you into how the gimmicks work out.
I love how it looks like a giant lobby.
Yeah, so like has to be the biggest fucking lobby I've ever seen. Then again, we're talking about amusement park that's the size of 5 fucking planets. So
they're tiny, but still.
Yeah, they're tiny, but yeah, the typical tutorial world. Although looking for the
red rings was a bit
red ring is a bit of a difference.
How the fuck was I supposed to know I was supposed to kill all those enemies underground to get the red ring to appear? Seriously,
what the fuck am I killing anyway? Are these cocoons?
I don't know.
But you know what? Actually, in terms of the red ring placement in Tropical Resort, the only one I found to be a real dick move was the one right behind the goal ring. It's like, you fucker! It's like, I'll be running right after that thing.
After that, I went right back into the level to get it, because it's like, if I don't get it right now, I'm going to forget, and it's going to piss me off again the second time I do it, so I'm just going to zip through the level really quick, grab it, and end it. Fuck you, I'm a kleptomaniac. Well, no. Again, it's me and Lewis. If we see it, we have to get it. By the time I finished the final boss, I had 91 of the 180, just over half of them.
I only had about 32 by the time I finished the game. Like if the red ring was right fucking there in front of my face, I'll nab it. But if I had to go out of my
if I saw it on screen, I attempted to get it.
yeah,
Even if it was kind of a puzzlish thing, it's like, ooh, there's a red ring there. I'll go get it.
ring must get.
And I know it's there, so I have to get it.
Yeah, I know. I got like I mentioned earlier. The only time I actually bothered to get all 5 of them was in one act of Starlight Carnival, where you're just racing against the fucking motobugs, which is brilliant level design, by the way.
You mean Asteroid Coaster?
Was it Asteroid Coaster?
Yeah, it's Asteroid Coaster.
Okay,
We'll get to that. We'll get to that act eventually. Ugh.
Yeah. But okay, well, leaving Tropical Resort, Sweet Mountain.
Sweet Mountain, I love. It's probably my favorite one overall, just because it's challenging enough in certain spaces, but it's still easy enough to where you can just speed past it, traditional Sonic style.
It's definitely one of those levels you want to revisit after you unlock the wisps for the particular area, because
it had the most dick move ones.
It had the most dick move ones, but at the same time, it's like, okay, there's your initial playthrough where you're going through it because you want to beat the stage for story purposes. You don't have that much on a wisp unlock, but you can the stages themselves are still pretty fun.
And then you see all these red rings covered with shit, and it's like, I can't get them, but I know they're right there.
Yeah, but then you unlock the wisp power ups, and then you unlock areas, and it's like Sweet Mountain has 6 acts, but with the wisp power ups, it's like you're playing totally different areas of the stage with the wisp power-ups, and to me, that's how it should be done. Alternate routes that feel completely different from what you're usually used to.
That and Planet Wisp did the best job of that.
Yeah, especially Planet Wisp.
It also had the most dickish red rings. I'm talking about you, Act 2 and 3.
Can you give me a little heads up? I haven't gotten there yet.
No, I'm not. I meant not Starlight Carnival. I meant Sweet Mountain.
Was it
Sweet Mountain Act 2 and 3. Sweet Mountain, this Act 2, where you're going off those springs into the boost pad. You're expected to stop, jump over the boost pad, and up the ramp. And there's one covered in popcorn, so you can't fucking see it. It's like, yeah, I was totally supposed to know that was there.
You mean I'm supposed to move left?
Well, not when there's nothing there besides just general popcorn, and the boost pad sends you to the right immediately you step on the ground.
Yeah.
And there's a one in Act 3 where there's a spring hidden behind a bunch of barrels on a drift area that you're supposed to hit and go to a secret area. It's like, yeah, I was totally supposed to know there was a spring there.
Yeah, well, the funny thing. I think it was also Act 3 of Sweet Mountain Zone. The moment you hit the first fucking spring, you overshoot one of the red rings.
Yeah, you do.
It's like, oh, you want to play? You're playing that game, are you, Sega? Now you realize now that at the beginning of every level, I'm going to walk backwards to see if there's anything behind me.
Yeah, which actually works in Aquatic Park.
But besides the actual level design being fucking food.
We please ask you to stop licking the rides. You don't know where they've been. People have been sitting on them with their butts.
Fine, do it anyway. Don't say we didn't warn you.
God, I love those PA announcements.
Yeah, the PA announcements are great. Although, to be honest, though, you're probably better off just watching the YouTube video.
Yeah, it's because they'll cut out a lot, and you can't really hear them over the music.
They cut out a lot, and the music kind of drowns them out on some occasions.
Well, that's kind of the point. They're echoing as part of a giant thing, but you can hear them most of the time.
Yeah.
Good level design. Really good level design. Really opens up once you get the wisps.
Yeah, and it's pretty. And overall, it's just pretty to look at.
Mm-hmm. This is how you do it, Sega. This is how you do it, Sega. Pretty
much. Now, okay, actually, this is where actually the pathway splits up, because you can either do Starlight Carnival or.
I just did Sweet Mountain because it was going. I could tell it was going to go around in a circle, so I just started with the far left.
Yeah, that's pretty much what. Okay, so I guess the next area would be Starlight Carnival then.
Also, okay, Act 1, hold forward to win.
No, Act 1, don't do anything. Okay, this.
It's pretty as fuck to look at,
but god damn it, the automation in this particular level is so mind-bogglingly glaring. this is how you're not supposed to do it.
I love playing the level of Supersonic because when you're boosting, you just zip past it all.